Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Sid's Blue Sky Farm. The day we've been talking about has finally arrived. It's time to move inside the cabin by the pond and start the interior work. We're going to take the side-by-side, run up the hill and load all our equipment, come back, and we're going to start putting insulation up on the inside. So let's stop talking and get things rolling. Let's go to work. We've got our power cube down here to keep a fan turning so it's not quite so hot inside this building. We got our masks and all our other equipment already inside. So let's start putting up some insulation. We have our fan to keep the air circulating so we don't just suffocate down here. We're going to need some more material, but I think we've got everything we need to get started on this big project. One of life's challenges, sweaty hands, putting on a new pair of rubber gloves. Takes a little while just to get started, but we are ready to go at it with the insulation. Let's get busy. And right away I see I need a better knife to cut this insulation roll. It's just a little bit too messy. I hate having to tear it. It's been a little while since I put up any insulation. And it feels just a little bit awkward, but I think just time will smooth that out. But as I look at my inventory, I think I'm going to need 3 more rolls just off the top of my head. But if we could get this morning all the insulation that we have up, I think it would be a really good thing. So we're going to make a little room in here, clear some of our equipment out, see if we can get a little bit more space to move around. All right, let's move to the back wall. We got to pull this beadboard out so we can get in there and start insulating. Okay. Trying to do a little calculating. If I can use these 2 rolls I have on hand to complete this wall, I know that I only need 1 more roll to do the short wall, and then I need another roll to fill in the gaps. So maybe we're going to need just 2 more rolls of insulation. Now that's not including anything we do up top. We're going to have to add a 2x4, whatever we put, the beadboard or any other siding inside up to even it out. So we'll work on that as we get to it. When we put the siding up, I think I'll do this back wall first because there's just a touch of a lip here. And I think there's plenty of room to slide that siding in there. Okay. Let's see how that works out. You got to go in there one way or the other. I want to take you back inside, check on the progress so far this morning. We have insulation except for the last two sections, but the very back long wall is done. And like I said, we've got to do a little work below the windows there and some little spots to fill in. I have one already filled in on the corner there, and a couple here by the door, and one in the other corner. But considering I don't know what I'm doing, I think it looks okay. It's got a little gap on a couple of the pieces at the top, but I think we will be all right. So for right now, we're going to take a little break, cool off, maybe rinse a little insulation fiber off the arms. Yeah, I meant to wear a long sleeve shirt this morning. Just forgot it, but it's not bad at all. I'm really thrilled with this progress. We're going to run uptown and get 2 more rolls of insulation and try to get this step done today, because the paneling, which is this beadboard, and all the ceiling work is going to be a real challenge for me. I am not a carpenter, so I may have to call in some help to work on the rest of this, but I'm thrilled so far, as I say, with where we are. We'll try to finish up all this insulation today and have a great first day working on the pond cabin interior. We're going to get there sooner or later. We have reached a stopping point here on our insulating project. My local store did not have those rolls of R13, so I've got to go somewhere and buy that. And I've also got to have a conversation with someone about putting the foam board in the ceiling. It doesn't need to be a living space. It just needs to have a finish to it. And while I'm finishing it, I want to put a little bit of insulation up. I'm really happy with the progress so far, and I'm very happy to say we're at least started on the insulating project of the cabin. We'll come back tomorrow afternoon and finish putting up these rolls of insulation and maybe have some clues as to what to do up in the ceiling of the cabin. Until then, take care. We'll see you again tomorrow. It's a really good day to be working inside the cabin, as the weather is just a little bit damp. One of the things that I find is really challenging is getting all your equipment, everything you need, located. And in a small space like this, you just have to be patient enough to move it 10,000 times during the day. All right, now we're ready, I think. I mentioned yesterday that it wasn't very itchy with the short sleeves. That wasn't until later on in the day. About 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I really regretted not having a long sleeve shirt, so today we took care of that. "14 inches. The reason I don't mind cutting on this floor with my knife, trying to cut this paper backing, we're going to put a new floor down here in the cabin, so this is some sort of really hard, like press board, so no problems there. If we make some marks, we make some marks. that will work just fine. So I'm not quite finished. I've got to get some insulation into that slot right there. So I'll take care of that right now. This is probably not the right way to do this, but I don't see any reason to break open an entire new roll of insulation just for this one 5-inch piece here. I think we can get this in here well enough and then cover it up with the beadboard and we'll be fine. At least that's what we're going to do. Now the insulation is complete all around on the bottom area, this lower level. And I wanted to get that accomplished in these first couple of days so it's out of the way. Like I said, it's not a living space. I just want to get it dressed up a little bit. So we're on our way. What we may do today is take some of this foam insulation and just attempt to glue up a couple pieces just to see how that goes and how much work it's going to be. Maybe we'll give that a shot. But back over the porch, I've got the insulation, so I'm going to go ahead and cut the insulation and get it over the porch. This is a lot of heat that will come boiling up from underneath there. And we'll just take a sheet of 3/8 inch plywood instead of beadboard because it's not seen. And we'll cut it to fit back there. That should be the easiest part of this whole thing. And then we'll just run the beadboard up this side and down that side. Takes a little bit more material, but I think it'll look an awful lot better. It's just going to take some time. So let's get the other roll of insulation out and get our measurements and start cutting pieces that will fit in these slots over the porch. Let me give you a look at how that is up there. That space, it's just a very simple space. I'm going to put the insulation down and put that plywood right over the top of it, and then in the very ceiling I'll put the foam boards just as we're doing now, and my plan is to run the beadboard the same exact way. You can see our space here. We're just going to go ahead and slide this insulation in there and get this porch top covered with some sort of insulating factor, and those just fit very nicely in there. Okay, perfect. Much better than I had anticipated. So now I think over the porch is taken care of with insulation. And as I said, we'll just put a sheet of 3/8 inch plywood over this, cover up that insulation, and then we'll run this foam down as far as it will reach. I think it'll go all the way to the end. And we'll just cut it and finish it out, and we should be in great shape. At least that's what I'm hoping. All right, that's 8 inches. Oh, okay, it's got to here. Yeah, 8 inches. Both of those gaps are 8 inches. So we're going to have this piece and 8-inch gaps for every piece we put up. That at least makes the math fairly simple for the rest of this project. We'll put these styrofoam boards, as you see here, up. We have some glue. We'll just spray the back of them and stick them up. And there are nails sticking through. That's why they're hanging up there right now. They probably won't be there in the morning. That's okay. But I think we have most of this ceiling figured out. We get the foam board up. That is some insulation in the ceiling. We've got the vents on the side, so the building should still be able to breathe. We do have a good bit of trim work. If you see right here, right there where that board, I've got to build out on that strip right there to match this strip so I can put whatever piece of wood I do to finish off this interior. So we'll calculate how to cut that and how to build it out, and we will do maybe beadboard, but we'll probably just do a plain board up there like we're going to do on this porch right behind the camera there. So looks like it's coming together. I am really pleased with how these first 2 days of work on the cabin interior have turned out. Just realizing if we had had enough insulation yesterday, we would have knocked most of this out. But there was a good thing there. It gave me a chance to really look over how to handle the porch and gave me some time to work on how to get this ceiling foam insulation up. So all in all, it was really a great schedule for us. Now it is still hot down here, so we're going to call it a wrap and a cut for today and for this video. We hope you enjoyed watching the video. If you have any comments, please drop them in there. We'd love to hear from you. I certainly don't know what I'm doing for the most part, but as always, we're having fun doing it. Everybody take care. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.